Howdy folks, welcome back to Space Engineers 2. I have made some updates to the tiny flyer. I've been out exploring. I've not found any gold ore anywhere, but I've been checking out these unknown signals as I find them. I turned the battery off so that antenna's not showing a marker. I forgot to do that at that one. Whoops. So it's still cluttering up the screen when we're within, I think 10 kilometers is the antenna range. But anyway, I found some gold here in a container, so that's cool. Let's go grab that. I was just going to run around between episodes, and then I did actually find 12 gold thread and 30 kilograms of gold. So that will help. I don't know if it's enough to make what we need to make, but it's a start anyway. And then also, as you can see, I've redone the tiny flyer. One big thruster for the main up-down. You got to be careful with this, because if you push space, you'll keep going up, and then it's really hard for these thrusters to override that. The flight and physics of movement is very strange in SE2. I hope it changes. It's pretty wonky. But anywho, we got an ore detector on here, as you can see. I've got that set to filter mode to just look for a few things, because all the basic resources are everywhere, so it just gets to be a cluttered screen. But one thing I just found out, I was poking around in here, you can actually group blocks together with this little button here. So this block group 1 is my front thrusters. So I can come in here and turn those off if I want to just cruise. So that's handy. You can't name anything yet. You can't put anything on a toolbar. That's all to come in the future, but you can make groups of blocks. So that is handy. I basically had to go through all my thrusters and toggle them on and off, figure out which thrusters were the front ones. And do that. We still have the thump. It seems to follow us around. I think it's just a little bit of a physics thing. But I made that group, so I want to go ahead and update the blueprints. I'm going to push Control B, and you get a little box there of what it's selecting, and then I'm going to confirm that. And then I want to... That's interesting. I already blueprinted this, but I don't see the blueprint. Tiny flyer. Save. Oh, it doesn't show you the other ones. Got it. So we'll delete that one. That's the one I had back in my base. There may be a way to update the blueprint from to an existing one. I'm not sure, but anywho, make blueprints of your creations, and then I probably need to upload that to my workshop so it's permanent, because it's an alpha. Stuff could change. But anywho, let's hop in here. And we're going to keep on cruising. This place is beautiful. I've really enjoyed the scenery here in Space Engineers 2. So I have those front thrusters on, so we slow down. Let me show you the ore detector real quick. So if I go down to ore detector, I've got the ore filter on. So I'm just looking right now for gold, lead, platinum, silver, and titanium. And so far I've had no luck. But I'm going to do some more cruising around. I'm going to put my base marker behind me. We're going to go this direction. I'm going to go turn off my front thrusters. Then I can just keep on cruising. A couple other things I've noticed, I hadn't been paying too much attention. Over on the lower right, we've got the battery symbol. That's the charge level of your grid batteries. Then the little energy symbol is how much power it's using at the moment. One of the build iterations on this, I had too many thrusters, and some of them wouldn't even turn on because I had overloaded the battery. So just be aware of that. I redid it. I initially didn't have a big thruster on here because I can't build those yet. But I went to a base. I think it was actually one of the bases from one of the contracts I did, and I stole the 2 large atmospheric thrusters from the ships there, because you need was it turbine? You need something. I don't think you can make. Or am I hallucinating? I might be hallucinating. Seems like I couldn't make the large thruster. I don't remember now for sure. But at any rate, I did steal those from a base. Getting a little bit of jitter here. as it loads them. Not too bad. Might have to turn the detail down. I think I've got it on high. So sometimes when it's streaming in new areas, it can get a little bit jittery. They put out another hotfix for the hotfix, so it's actually playable now. The second hotfix was just unplayable. It would just consume all system memory and crash. But a little less than a day later, they got a fix out for that. I think it's still using too much memory, possibly. The memory usage still slowly trends upward. I don't know for sure. And until I started recording, this was running really smooth. I record on another machine, so it's not like the recording is having any effect on this performance. Just the way it goes sometimes. So as you can see, we're not detecting anything at all. I'm kind of wondering if I'm going to have to go to space to find gold. Because I am not finding really anything. Gold or lead. I need gold and lead basically to progress. The lead would be to make better tools. And the gold is for the assembler, if I remember right. I did get myself a gear forge built back at base, but I don't have the lead to upgrade my tools to Mark II. So I've just been kind of cruising around the planet. Thought I'd make at least one trip around. See if we could find anything. So I'm going to keep on cruising, and I'll put some cuts in here. We'll kind of cut this video together, so I'll see you in a bit. I'll bring you back in for just a bit. I found this cool canyon over here. Kind of neat. I was hoping there might be gold in them there hills, but no such luck. And it continues to be choppy. I don't know why. Maybe because I've been running it for a while. Might still be some performance issues. Because I was flying around. And this has been running for at least half an hour, 45 minutes. I might need to just restart. But yeah, some really cool scenery here. I'm digging it. A little space engineer in the cockpit there. I think I will go ahead and land. See, like it turns that thruster off and is thrusting down, but it goes down really slow. If I turn off inertial dampeners, I fall like a stone. So there's something just really weird with the way the flight physics works. Also, I want to rebuild the way the landing gear are on here. It needs to be better. I want to have it be lower than the connector and it's like out to each side, so that's something I need to build. Turn that off, it quits thumping. So it's got to be something, the way the ships interact with the ground or something. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and restart the game, and I'm going to continue exploring. I wanted to see if I could find a little more gold, because I don't know that this is enough. I don't remember. Actually, does it tell us? So if we look at, what's it called? I'm getting used to all this stuff. So I want to make an assembler. That requires 8 gold threads. So we do have enough gold thread to make the assembler. That's cool. We've got everything else. So really, I just need the lead, really. Production blocks required. Turbine blades. Maybe I can make those. I don't remember for sure. But anyway, so we do have enough gold. I'm going to do a little more looking around to see if I can find some lead somewhere so I can make better tools. And I will see you after the break. Alright, I haven't had any luck finding lead out in the wild, but I stumbled upon a treasure trove here at this unknown signal. Yeah, I'm going to turn this on rather than auto. It takes a little bit for it to realize it needs to turn on. So yeah, there's a cargo container here. It's got a little bit of stuff in it. It's got a bunch of nice components, and it also has 100 kilograms of lead. I don't know for sure how much we're going to need, but I'll take that. These are super cheap to build, too. Kind of crazy. I know stuff is easier because it's just vertical slice, too. I doubt it'll be that cheap in the future. But anywho, let's head back to base. I think I checked everywhere else. I did remember to turn this antenna off. I think we just had iron. We got a little bit of copper here, but nothing that we can't find close to the base. I did go ahead and redo the landing gear, so it's a lot easier to land this thing. And I should still be able to connect up back at base. Speaking of base, how far? I'm about... I think I'm basically on the other side of the planet, so I think I'm going to just go in that direction. And if anything else interesting shows up, I'll stop in. Otherwise, I shall see you back at the base. Also, I need to transfer my cargo real quick. Transferring cargo is still not, like, super intuitive. I don't think there's a way to, like, select where you want it to go. So it kind of just goes in to the top one. And of course that gets filled. Then you have to hand, like, move everything down. It's kind of a pain. Sometimes the stuff won't stack for whatever reason. You know, alpha problems. I'm finding a bunch of these health kits. I think I'll keep those in the cockpit. A little bit of uranium. There is some uranium right next to my base. Alright, I'm going to put the base marker at my back. I'm going to keep flying around this planet. Need to go turn my front thrusters off. And I'll see you either at another POI or back at base. Alright, I haven't made it back home yet, but man, this game is just so darn beautiful. Just look at the scenery around here. Absolutely stunning. But I came across this little POI here. Also, I discovered if you double tap Alt, it's Cinder's review. It's got a solar panel on the roof. I might steal that and throw it on the ship. Just as some emergency power. The landing gear, I don't believe it has auto lock. Oh, it does. Never mind. Let me put that in a group. So, and we have block group 2, turn on auto lock. And then we should be able to just auto park. I assumed it didn't have auto lock. I had never actually even looked. There we go. Well, that's cool. Learning stuff, even still. Just soak it in. It is a good looking game. Alright, let's see what we got here. I'm pretty sure all of these are copy pasted. I found like 3 or 4 of the ones that are gold. They all have the exact same loot. Turn that back on auto. So I'm assuming this has the same blue container in here with a health pack. Yep. And that has some basic stuff. We'll grab it. Why not? I did grab a 30% power module from that last place I was at, just as an emergency backup. Seems like this had, yeah, this had a little wall here. It has some stuff inside. I don't remember for sure what it had. They're all pretty much the same. Oh yeah, it had a battery. Then we can open the door. I don't remember what was in here. A bunch of grass, apparently. Oh yeah, there was a gear forge. A couple gear forges and some boxes. Chromium, silver, and chemical synthesizer. I'm not sure what the chemical synthesizer is used for. I think that's a component. So we'll take it. Might be handy in the future. Just rob the place blind and we'll be on our way. This one has grass in it. The other one I don't think did. Alright, we just need to turn the antenna off. At the Jolly Green Giant. Making noises. And then I want to steal the solar panel. So I think these start I think they become active when they come in range. Because all of them are pretty much around 30%. Let's go to antenna. We'll turn that off just so I know I've been here. Put the solar panel on the ship. Unfortunately, there's not a like smaller version of the solar panel. There is just this version. So what if I move the antenna, actually, and then just stuck this on top? Doesn't necessarily even need the antenna. So I kind of want this laying down, but I don't want it to be over that thruster. It can't go on the... Oh, it can't cover up the battery, I think is the problem. Is that what's going on? I can put that there. I need some supports out here. Oops. Why am I flying up and down? It says I can't place there. Okay, maybe there's restrictions around the thrusters. Not done a ton of building yet, so I don't know all the ins and outs. Nope, it does not want to go there. We give it a base like that. Okay. Wants to go there. Let's do that. Oh, I thought I had steel plates. Thought I had steel plates on me. I don't. Let's grab some steel plates. I've got steel plates. Yeah, you're full. You're full. Hopefully we still have enough thrust to get home. I don't remember for sure what it needed. Let's grab some of that. And actually, we need the glass. For sure. And then let's grab a bunch of steel plates. Oh, I have to build this one first, right? That one's hanging out in the air. It can't be built yet. The welding is really finicky about positioning. Hopefully that will change in the future. There we go. Alright, we're short a little bit of glass and some electronic parts. Where are you? There we go. It's ugly. I like it. It's just for emergency power. Yeah, it's barely getting any output. The output does seem to vary by angle to the sun, so that's nice to see. I mean, it's... yeah. It's just for emergencies. Fear not. Alright, we are 94 from base. And are pieces falling off my ship? Nope. I don't know what that particle effect was from. Alright, block group 1 is the thrusters. A little bit of side thrust with the big thruster to get on our way, and off we go. We do have strange particle effects now with the solar panel roof up there. Oh well. Alright, it's another POI. I think I'm just going to keep on cruising and see if we can get home this episode. That is the goal. I discovered where the particle effects were coming from. When they go down, it's damaging the solar panel. That thrust is damaging it. So even though it's 1, 2, 3, it's 4 blocks away, it is taking damage. So that's good to know. Need to fix that. So the solar panel may eventually explode. On towards space we go. Well, a couple things, folks. This planet is apparently massive. And flying at 300 meters per second, it's getting pretty chunky. We're 107 and some odd kilometers from base. And I thought the number was kind of slowing down, but doesn't appear to be slowing down. My computer's slowing down. Might have to restart the POI. I haven't been stopping any more POIs. I think I've got enough stuff. I kind of want to just see, you know, how big is this planet and get back to base. So in theory, this GPS marker should eventually top out at a certain distance, and I'll start getting closer to it again. That's the theory. That's kind of how geometry works. But so far it continues to just get further away. But there's some awesome scenery up here. I've been enjoying the scenery as it chugs by. So I don't know if we're going to make it back to base this episode or not. It's been kind of broken up over a few different play sessions. I've lost track of just how long it is. I need to go check on that. I don't know how long this is, but I would like to at least get back to base. I had planned to go out and find some gold and lead and go back and work on the base and build some tools, but this has taken a little longer than I anticipated. So we're at 10... yeah, we're still ticking up, 108. And I'm not sure I'm going to have enough power to get back, because we're at 41%. So we'll see how it goes. I may be spending the night out here in the mountains somewhere. Or if I get down to like 20%, I might start looking for other POIs with solar panels, so I can get a little bit more power generation going. I did land real quick and fix the solar panel situation, although the solar panel wasn't damaged. I don't know if maybe they just don't take damage yet, but it was definitely looked like it was frying it. So I just moved those engines out a little bit. Also, I noticed this one on the left, I had it upside down anyway. It wasn't thrusting down, it was thrusting up. So that's all fixed. Continue to make some improvements to the ship as I circumnavigate for Jur. Ooh, a little bit of a different landscape here. Got some brown in the snow. Oh, it's ticking down. Okay, it's ticking down. We officially are heading back to base. Just ticking down. Excellent. I want to keep chugging along. And hope to see you back at base here shortly. Shortly for you. Longly for me. Alright, I made it back to base with about 32% battery to spare. No problem. And then I was happily just doing stuff around here. Replaced the 2 smaller batteries with a big battery. Swapped the power cell out on the ship so it's fully charged again. Got some blueprints put down. Like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be recording. So I was having so much fun. I did get a welder Mark II made with a little bit of lead that we got. That was basically just enough to make a lead bar times 2. Then the other lead bar went into the big battery here. And that used up all the lead. But we should have enough stuff here to get the assembler going, so that's what we're going to do. We need a bunch of steel plates, like 112. I just pull all those over. Inventory full. I can get 90 of them. So let's do that. We need 32 motors and 8 electronic parts. So where's my motors here? There's 23. All the motors I've got? No, there's a few more. Then we need some electronic parts. Oops. Thought I hit shift click. Shift double click? There we go. We're gonna be what, 3 short on the motors? Yeah, so I need 3 motors. So go to production, motors times 3. We have enough nickel for that. Excellent. Hide empty. Give me my motors. And we need 8 gold threads and then the rest of the plates. That ought to do it. There we go. Functional assembler. Put those back in. So in the smelter, if you haven't seen this before, we can make kind of the basic stuff. You know, steel plates, tubes, glass, electronic parts, motors, construction, wire, turbine blades, metal grids, magnesium powder, lead bars, gold thread, and chrome coating. Then the next step up is the assembler. And from that you can make chemical synthesizers, which we were finding a bunch of those. We can make the heavy duty plate, which I need to make some of those for the reactor. That just takes iron. Okay. Cobalt, lead, and ooh, it takes a bunch of lead. Alright. So we're going to be short on the lead and gold, it looks like, to get the reactor online. So I'll have to keep looking. I don't know for sure if there is gold and lead on this planet. Now if you look at the map, it says there is lead, gold. But I don't know if that means they're out in the asteroids. Like, does that mean it's on the planet? Or does that mean it's in the sector? At first I was thinking it meant it was on the planet, but I went all around this planet and didn't find any. I think what it means is it's in the sector. So we probably have to go out into space and get into the asteroid field before we can find that. So I think to progress more, we're going to have to go to space, which means we need a bunch of ice and we need a hydrogen ship. Also, I'm going to redo where these solar panels are because my base keeps expanding out. Also might move some of this stuff around and make it kind of a square with some walls and stuff. I don't know, we'll see. I do like my little light posts I made. Those are pretty nice. But I'm not sure if this stuff will stay where it is. And it's nighttime, so I'm going to kind of let time pass. And yeah, we'll start working on a hydrogen ship next. I think we can make everything for hydrogen thruster. Let's just take a quick look here real quick. So if we go look at movement, hydrogen, yeah, it's just steel tubes and metal grids. So we can do that. No problem. And then if we look at a hydrogen tank, what would that be? Tank. Hydrogen tank. Yeah, we can make all that stuff. So we need to make a little spaceship, or probably a somewhat big spaceship, because we're gonna need to go out to space and stay there a while. So I'll be gathering some resources and doing some other stuff. Next episode, we'll start work on the hydrogen ship, and we'll see about getting into space. So I think that will do it for this one. Thanks as always for watching, folks. Hope you're having fun with the Alpha SIM. It's buggy, it's a little laggy here and there, but it's fun. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.